But to kind of wrap the Dolphins game up, you saw a propensity of Josh Allen to be himself. I think that's what you called for. And you saw it in one, and he called it himself. You saw it in the microcosm of the game. You saw him make some of those throws that he was making against the Jets week 1. But at the same time, you saw some of the special plays that he can make and ultimately win you a football game. He did continue his stretch of 2 touchdowns against the Miami Dolphins in his entire career. He has done that in every game against the Dolphins, throwing 2 touchdowns, which is remarkable. He continues to win against them, 10 out of the last 11. Really losing his first game, the Charles Clay drop, and since then has only lost to the Heat game last year in Miami. In a very similar game, the difference was the Bills had a big-time punt return from Deontay Hardy. What a time for him to show up. We had the Brandon Beane special. I'm going to get your opinion on this, Kevin. The Brandon Beane special game. Like, some of these guys hadn't shown up a ton. Rapp was there a little bit. Didn't play great football. I haven't seen Damian Harris. He had his unfortunate looking head neck injury. But then, you have Sherfield, good on special teams, hasn't really produced much in the offense. Come on with the big play, a huge play in the end zone, really heads up play. Not sure what Josh was doing on that play specifically. And then you saw the big Deontay Hardy punt return touchdown and a pretty good play to get the ball and get out of bounds before half to even set the Bills up in a makeable situation to go score a touchdown before. And then the Ty Johnson play. Ty Johnson's been a nice boost. Potentially should have scored there beside a head-to-head contact, knocking him out. And then a little bit of Leonard Fournette, another bean sign. So you got these guys on one-year deals that have shown up and shown out for the Buffalo Bills. And this was the game they needed them. Like, they haven't done a ton to this point. But what is your opinion on them all showing up in the same game to win the division? Kind of poetic, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because if you didn't, I was going to, because I tweeted after the game that outside of Josh Allen, the 3 heroes of the game were Deontay Hardy, Trent Sherfield, and Taylor Rapp. And I don't think anyone would have had that on their bingo cards going in, because you're thinking, okay, Allen, Diggs, Terrell Bernard, Leonard Floyd, and to their credit, like, everyone did their part, everyone played well. But that touchdown catch by Trent Sherfield, where he just dragged his feet and caught, it was off of Van Ginkel's helmet, and Sherfield had the patience and the concentration to be able to get both of his feet in and tie the game up. Or did that make it 14-7? Or 7-7, right?
7-7, yep. Tied the
game. Okay. And then when it was 14-7, Deontay Hardy completely changed the momentum of that game, because when he returned that, you could just feel how it was over for Miami. When you saw that sideline view of all of Bills Mafia, I counted. There was a screenshot. I found maybe 5 to 10 teal and orange jerseys. The rest was blue and red. It was just taken over by Bills fans. It was amazing. It really felt like a home game. And then obviously with Taylor Rapp, I kind of forgot about this, to be honest. I went back and I was watching the end of the game last night on NFL Network, and I forgot Taylor Rapp had that pass breakup right before the game-ending interception. So he made back-to-back great plays on that last drive. And looking at it from the macro point of view, Taylor Rapp, Trent Sherfield, Deontay Hardy, stars of the game. That's got to feel really, really good for Brandon Beane, because to your point, they haven't done a lot this year. They've contributed in their own way, but they haven't really shown up on the box score. And now they make a huge impact in the biggest game of the year. And one other thing that I want to say about Deontay Hardy is he has made arguably 2 of the biggest plays for the Bills this season. Because when it was 17-17 in Kansas City with about 5.5 minutes left, he caught a beautiful 25-yard pass on 3rd and 5 from Josh Allen, which set up the game-winning field goal for Tyler Bass. And I think that play gets forgotten about too. So Hardy hasn't shown up a lot on the box score, but he shows up when it matters most. And man, that just shows how good of a team this can be. And someone like Ryan Vandemark, Deion Dawkins has his hand literally almost cut off, or his finger, I guess, bleeding all over the place. And Ryan Vandemark steps in and does a great job, has a couple of really nice blocks on those James Cook runs. And you're starting to see how this team is coming together at the right time. And we all think of Allen, Diggs, and all the top guns, but this just shows what they can do and how their depth has been tested this year. And I keep saying one more thing, but I got to say this real quick too. The fact that they held Miami, the number one offense in the NFL, to 0 points and just 57 yards of total offense in that second half. It just tells you everything you need to know about what Sean McDermott has been able to do with this defense, who is without Matt Milano, who is without Trey White. And then in that second half, they were without Russell Douglas and Tyrell Dodson. It is literally just plug and play, and every guy has been stepping up to the challenge, and it is just so much fun to watch.